That's more better. I got all that. I wasn't going to do up there, but I decided to put a second coat up there too, and I got just a little bit left out of the second gallon, and that's all. But I've still got, I got a little bit more. I got another coat to do up there, and I've got a few other places later on to use my primer, so I'm hoping that I'll have enough. If not, I'll have to go back to the store and get some more paint. But after this dries is going to be my next step to this project. I hope you can join me for that. Good grief. Looks like I'm ready to do some more damage down here. Now that I got everything painted, I even went this morning and painted this top thing. I even put liquid nails in where there was cracks and stuff. And I'm gonna have to fix that little area right there before I put the 2x6 along there, that ledger. But enough of that. I'm not even concerned about that right now. The next thing, the very next thing, which is the first thing of doing the framing, okay? Getting ready to do that, and I need to get these steps in, because you remember these stair treads. There's 2 of them that I took out. 1, 2. I got to get those back in, and the stair treads kind of got built into this wall. It's kind of funky how they did that, but they decided to do that. Here's a stair tread, and see, it goes all the way back, about an inch away from the siding. See, here's another one. See this? The wall is actually about there, see? And that goes in underneath that stucco. And so to get that 4x12 in there, I wanted it straight. And if I build this column, out, then I can't put those in, because I've got to stick it in this way and then swing the end over, and then the next one do the same thing up in there. So where this cavity is, remember I took out all this. This was just a little section here that was framed up for the stucco on the side there. And I've got to get that in first, because if I put these beams in, the 4x12s, then I can't really get up in there too well and do that. So I want to put, I want to match this. These are 2x8s, 7¼ inches wide. That's what a 2x8 is called. And remember, I took the back of the plywood off up here because it was all rotted. I want to put that back in. Not that it matters that much, because if I was just careful with this, it's probably never going to cave in. But the best thing to do is to put that piece up in there first, you know, up to here. And then I would sandwich the 2x6s, 2x8s up in there. And somehow I got to get it all attached properly. And once I get that in there, then I can swivel these stair treads in here. And see, the stair tread is going to fit right in there, and I see there's a nail poking out right there, and there's a nail poking out right there. And that might prevent this tread to go in all the way. And so I guess I'm going to have to cut those out. Any idea how I'm going to cut those out? Yeah, my Sawzall here. I got a metal cutting blade in there. If you didn't have a Sawzall, what else could you use? You could take a hacksaw blade if you wanted, and you could just put the hacksaw blade in your hands and just use it as a saw and cut those 2 off. I've done it before. Okay, but since I have the Sawzall here, I'm going to cut those off and figure out what to do next. I think the next thing I'll have to do is put this plywood on the back side here. So I'm going to have to cut a scrap, and then I can hold it on the back side, and I can just trace it out with the pencil, you know, and then I can cut that out with my skill saw. And I don't have a jigsaw. I should have got a jigsaw, but I don't have one very seldom do you need a jigsaw. What else could I use? Yeah, guess I could use my Sawzall again. Use a different type of blade, drill some holes in it to cut out where the notches are and that kind of stuff, okay? So that's what my project is today. I'm gonna have to do that, put these 2x8s up in there, and then I wanna get this 4x12 in here and then figure out what to do after the 4x12, because then there's the riser, so that I can attach the riser and get ready to put the next 4x12 in. And see, I can build that, because once I get the 4x12 in here, I can support it on this edge with the clip and stuff, and then I can attach the next thing, and then I could actually put the next 4x12 in before I even fix these stringers, because those will go all the way in and the weight of it will be held here. And so see, then I'll have to put the 2x6s in here in the wall here. So that's probably the first thing I need to do, is put this OSB in plywood here, and then you see this OSB goes up underneath the 2x8s, and so then I'll have to put 2 pieces of 2x8 up to here, and I'll have to cut those back at a 45-degree angle, and somehow I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that with my little circular saw, because this is all I have. I used to have a construction, commercial type construction skill saw, 77. I don't have it anymore, and I've got just this. So I'm pretty sure I can do it, because I can adjust this. I can take that, and that'll swivel this over. You'll see. Okay, so then I'll put the 2x8s in. Then I've got to cut this OSB plywood, a new piece from here, just over to here, because eventually I know that, see, all the way up in there, I'm going to rebuild all this. I'm going to put all the wood back in there, just like this OSB plywood. I'm going to have to put another piece over here too, and up there. And see, that OSB actually comes down, comes through here, and comes all the way down this 2x6, and it will make a box. So I have to build all that, but I can't build that box until I get these 2 stairs in. Okay, so it's kind of a tricky little situation here, building back from the stucco back. Generally it's not done, you know, because you build from the outside out before you put this paper on, before you put the stucco on and all that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to save all that because of all of this water damage. And when you first saw this project, you might have thought, wow, it's possible. How is he going to fix all that? Well, so far it looks pretty clean, huh? Of what I've done so far. If you haven't been watching the videos, you can check back on the videos and see what it looked like before I started and all the stuff I had to take out. Now I have to rebuild things and put it all back together. Okay, and so what I also have to keep in mind is, before I cut my OSB plywood, I can't just cut it willy-nilly out of sheets, because I've got 3 sheets, 3 4x8 sheets to use, and I'm gonna hope that I can use it strategically and get this all done without having to go back to the store and get some more. So I've got to kind of figure out, and I already sort of figured it out, how to come out of here with 3 pieces, because it was just a little over, I think, what was it? See, 18 inches, and I know that side comes out 18 inches, and then this here, this is 18 inches. So see, I can only get 2 18-inch pieces out of a 4x8 sheet, because 18 and 18 is 36, and 36 is 3 feet, see? And then I've only got 12 inches left. So I'm like, how am I gonna do this exactly? And I've got 12 inches left, and I was hoping that this little column over here, I could use a last piece the 12 inches over here, and I'm trying to get my tape in there and not to disturb you. Now see, that's 12 inches right there, and this one over here I think is 12. No, see, that's 13 inches. That's 13 inches to there. And so on one sheet I can get two pieces, 18 inches and 18, and then use the 12-inch piece here, okay, minus my saw blade cuts. So I know that's one whole sheet taken up right there. And then I've got, you know, 13 inches plus a ½ inch where the OSB sticks out. That's 13 and a half. And you know, I'm pretty sure I've got enough. Cause see, this here is a shy 18. So when I cut it, I've got no more than 18 inches. So that's just fine. This side is the same thing. So that's going to get me exactly what I need. And then this was 18 plus half and half, because the OSB comes here and here. That's 19 inches plus, you know, 14 inches over there. 33. And I got 15 inches left. So see, I got to figure all this kind of stuff out, because I also want to have a piece, you know, over here. That's 16 and a half, 16 3/4. And so I've got, once I cut this, I've got to figure out where to cut it, where not to cut the sheet, to make sure that I'm going to have enough. And that's 6 feet tall, and so that's what I'll do, is I'll cut that piece, you know, 16 and a half it looks like, and or 16 3/8 or so. And then from that scrap, I'll be able to use the scrap piece for up in here. I can't just cut it straight off the end of a 4x8 sheet of plywood. Okay, so when you get ready to do your project, make sure when you measure everything out, get the right materials at the store. If you got any questions, get just a little bit more material. You can always take a sheet of OSB plywood back. They'll take it back. If you don't need it, that's fine. That's fine too. You just take it back, and if you do need it, good. You're just like, man, I'm sure glad I got that, because I don't want to piecemeal this stuff in. I want to get this in with one piece, preferably, because on the back side of that, this was the paper, and I painted that. I put 2 coats on that. That was that black tar paper, but that's not going to stop any leaks if the stucco were to leak. And you always want to be careful to always remember to think about stuff like that, because if it does leak, where's the water going to go? We don't want it to come on the inside of this and then get to the back side of our new OSB plywood. So when I went to the store, I actually got me some craft paper, and it's called rosin paper, and it looks kind of like this, but the roll is really super big. This is just the last little bit of a small roll that I have, and I'm gonna end up using that. And once I cut this plywood on the top pieces, I'm gonna put craft paper, that rosin paper, on it, and I'm gonna staple it to the back of it and run it in here, so that if water does leak through here, it won't come and hit the backside and run down the backside of the OSB plywood. It's going to run down the new paper instead. Yeah, I'm listening to the song Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow, and I won't. But that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back tomorrow with more videos.